This is a bit of a different video. So on this video, I'm going to go through the first half of the year and what is coming up in the second half of the year, and go through the ins and outs of what worked, what didn't work, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm not going to be doing, and treat this video like a little bit of a behind the scenes and a kind of nosy look, if you like, at how everything is getting on. Now, maybe you're new to the channel. Hi, I'm Emma from Studio77. Welcome. If you have any comments, questions or queries at all throughout this video, please do pop them in the comments box below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Right, so starting off the year, the very first thing that I did was I went to a quilt show, and this is local to me in Farnham. It's quite a small show, but it was lots of fun. Throughout this video, I will pop up videos and photos that are related to what I'm talking about, so you can see exactly everything. It was really nice to meet some of my members and some customers as well that have made previous things. I know I met somebody that made the challenge from October. I'll be telling more about the new challenges coming up and everything coming up throughout the year as well. So stay tuned because there's lots of excitement coming up soon. In January, I also got my LED sign, which you can see behind me, and I got that ahead of the show that I did in March, which I'll get to in a minute. I'm really pleased with it. If you're interested or in the market for an LED sign, I will pop a link in the description for where I bought mine from. January, I actually got to make something. So as a sewing business owner, I actually don't sew very much, but I did get to make a present for a friend, Michelle. I used the November Bag Makers Box supplies and the January Bag Makers Box fabric to make this little zip pouch. It was quite a modern feel. I really love this like fluted ruched faux leather, and it just worked really well on the pouch. The pattern I used is the Layla pouch, and I hacked it slightly, which is one of my patterns, and it also inspired me for the challenge that we had in March, which I'll get to in a minute. January as well was also the month for the Bag Makers box to go out. That is a bi-monthly subscription box, so it goes out every other month: January, March, May, and so on. We'll get to those. So that is always a time when it's super busy. I get 3 or 4 people come in to help me with the packing because it's a lot of packing, and also I want to keep that cohesive, nice kind of gifting look throughout the boxes, so it's really important that we have all hands on deck. I'll pop some videos of us making that. January in the club, we had the hand woven fabrics with Carrie masterclass from our guest speaker, and then we had our rolled handles class with me. Also had the club swap Zoom I haven't talked about. So within the club, if you wanted to join, you could then be allocated another member, and we kind of stalked each other in a nice way through various posts within the club Facebook group. And then the items were shipped and we all opened them together on Zoom. And honestly, it was so much fun seeing everybody's reactions, seeing what people made, all the little goodies that went inside as well. It was really, really sweet. And I cannot wait to do it again soon. Stay watching because I'm going to explain about that. Okay, so in February, it was World Book Day. And every now and then, as an ex-costume maker, I do let my kids choose what they want to have, and it can be something crazy. I don't do this every year. I do it sort of every couple of years, and they get either Halloween or World Book Day, because I know once I get into it, I'm going to go all extra. So this year, my little list wanted to be Luna Lovegood with the lion head from Harry Potter. So I set about to make that. Now, it was quite tricky in that I needed to do it really quick. I only had a couple of days, but she loved it, and that's all that matters. And I'm quite pleased with the results. So I don't know, you'll have to let me know what you think. In the club in February, we had the machine needles masterclass, and our guest speaker was Stretch Fabrics for Dressmaking with Debbie, which was a great class as she went through all the different stitches that you need to think about, and also how to work with stretch fabrics. So the guest speakers are always all different genres, but always related to sewing in some aspects. So we've had quilters, we've had colour theory experts, we've had all different things. And you'll see as we go through the months what we've had in the past. March was another box, so I'll pop a video of that on the screen. And there is a video, I'll link that in the description below, of an unboxing for that too. I was also on Sewing Street at the beginning of the month as well, which I go on every now and then. I don't tend to have as much time nowadays, but I do go back there every now and again, and it's always loads of fun. Not least because I don't have to deal with the tech, which is really good. March in the club, we did a woven handles masterclass where I actually did SVG templates as well so that people can cut them out on the cutting machine. And one of my members, Gail, made the most amazing version using a version of the genie bag, which is one of my patterns, but used the woven handle as the handle. And it, oh my gosh, it came out so good. You'll have to share your love for that in the comments as well. Tell Gail what you think of that. For our guest speaker in March, we had Cloning Your Clothes with Claire Louise, which was so much fun. That definitely inspired me. And I will share with you that in April, I actually made something, so I'll share that in a minute. March was also a huge show for me, and that was Stitch Festival in London. Now, Stitch Festival, if you don't know, is a really cool show. It's one of the more modern shows, I would say. It's one of the largest in the UK. And it's held at the Business Design Centre in Islington, which is a really beautiful building, glass domed kind of building. And it is a really, really busy show. Now, something bad happened to me at the show. I actually pranged the van that I was using, and so that wasn't much fun. But anyway, I digress. It was so much fun to see everybody, to meet you all. If you came and said hello, thank you so much. I had a different spot, which was kind of long and skinny, which worked way, way better. Thank you for all your support. It was an amazing 4 days. It was very busy. I was very lucky that I had some amazing assistants helping me as well. And I have booked for next year. I'll share more about that in a minute. So in April, after watching the Cloning Your Clothes class, I was inspired and reminded of my skills that I learned at college to make a clone of one of my favourite jumpers or sweaters, and I'm actually wearing it now. So this was a Hollister jumper. I have a white one that you may have seen me wearing. So I made this using fabric from So Confident, and it sewed up in a couple of hours. I took a clone from my Hollister jumper, and here I am. I wear it so much. So definitely highly recommend you watch that if you're a member and you haven't yet, or take a look at Claire Louise. Again, I'll pop a link in the description below. April's classes, we learned all about boxed bottoms in the club, and then we also had the most amazing guest speaker of Harriet, and she taught us or showed us her stitching stories. So she actually had her machine out and she was stitching a portrait as we talked to her, and she shared her stories of stitching all over the world. So inspired by that. Future editing Emma here. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot to tell you about the bag making challenge. Now, I do this challenge twice a year now, in the spring and in the autumn, and this year was absolutely amazing for our spring challenge. If you are liking the sound of this when I go through it, stay watching because I'm going to tell you all about the one coming up later on in the autumn. But this one, we had thousands of you sewing along, and you all made the 77 boxy pouch, which was a brand new beginner friendly lined boxy pouch. The challenges are always free patterns as we go through the tutorials. I give you all the measurements, or you can, I've started doing it so that you can purchase the step-by-step templates and instructions as well, and continued access to the videos too. So this year, like I say, over 665 of you completed the bag within the challenge time, which was just amazing. I hope those of you that took part loved it, and I cannot wait for you to join us again later on in the year. May, oh my goodness, May was a crazy month. So at the beginning of May, I went to H&H Americas, which is a big trade show over in Chicago, and hung out a lot with Jenny of So Confident, who is really, really lovely. And I met so many amazing people. So again, if I did meet you there and you said hello, thank you. That was so much fun. It was just a really good time to spend on my business and think about different things, get inspired with different ideas, and meet other fellow businesses as well. As soon as I got back from there, I then set my task of making 3 Disney Loungefly inspired bags for our Disney trip, which was at the end of May. It was actually only really a week, 10 days in between Chicago and when I went back to Disney. And Disney was Disney World in Orlando, and that was with the family. So the 4 of us went. We went with the Disney backpacks. spoiler alert, I got them finished, and we actually used those as our signature collection. So we got all the characters to sign them. I will be making a video on that, so stay tuned. I will pop a link to that in the description if it is out or when it's out, so you can take a look if you want to. While I was in Disney, I actually had a lovely Debs come into the club, and she did a really cool sew along. I'll pop a picture of the bag that she made. It's actually a take on my kind of shaker bag, which is a free pattern, and she added 2 strap connectors on the side to make it into a crossbody. A really fun sew along. Thank you so much, Deb. Members, you can find that in the membership portal as well. We also had in the club, we had the photography session with Emma. Again, really inspirational. I've seen loads of people's results from that too. But obviously May was taken up with a lot of me traveling, so it was quite a full-on month. Then when I arrived back in June, beginning of June, I arrived back about 7 a.m. and about 11 a.m. I had a catastrophic error with my system for my membership, which meant that a lot of my members were cancelled. So this was really, really tricky time for my business. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was definitely very, very hard. And I'm so grateful to everybody, all of the members and all of the community that was so supportive, even though it was a major issue. And a lot of you did re-sign up. So thank you for your support and for staying with me. And it just kind of proved to me how amazing the members are and everybody in this community. So huge thank you to that, to you for that. Once I'd got over all of those issues, I was back on track and ready to prepare. I forgot about May's box. We had a box go out in May. Again, I will pop a video of that or picture of that on the screen as well. But jumping back to June, when I got back from my trip, anytime that you take time out of your business to go on holiday, or even when I went to Chicago, it's always a really hard decision, because you know when you're going to get back there's going to be a huge amount, a backlog of admin. Admin is probably the biggest thing that I spend time on in my business, just replying to emails, making sure that everybody is happy, setting things up. So that is why, as you can see, I actually don't sew a huge amount. I will, however, pop a photo on the screen of my haul from H&H, because I managed to get some really cool things. They have this kind of little part of the show where you can go, and it's pretty much like wholesale prices, but you can get one-off things. So that was really fun. I got a few bits from there, especially from Renaissance Ribbons, some of the Tula Pink collection and things like that, which was really cool. In June, I also bit the bullet and I took out my very first office. This is a very big undertaking for any small business and is frankly quite terrifying, but that means that I can then separate the bag maker's box to the rest of my business. So I'm currently in my renovated garage in my house, but it means that I can have other people come in and help me, and they can be at the office on their own, and we're not distracting each other. They can get on and do different things. So I'm very excited for the next chapter of that. I will be announcing, I've kind of hinted at it, but I will be announcing big news about that very soon. So stay tuned. It will be on my email, it will be on my socials, so you won't miss it. For the office as well, lovely Deb came down and helped me do all my unpacking and organising for the office. There was quite a lot to get through, and it was so much fun having someone there to help me, so huge thanks, Deb. Her channel is Me Made Makes, so do check that out. Me Made Makes is her business, sorry, and her channel is the Sewciety. I will pop, again, links in the description so you can check her out. She does lots of cool stuff as well. The June guest speaker was Christy, and she took us through how to look after our sewing machine. Oh my goodness, so many tips and tricks in there. I absolutely loved it. I know that the members found that really valuable as well. Again, members, you can find that in the portal. We also did a carry-on with more box bottoms as a follow-on from the other one. So that was really fun, getting to do all the different techniques and show you. In June, I also did the Threads Festival, which is again at Farnham. So I went to the quilt show in the January, and then I did the Threads Festival in Farnham. And it was a really good show. It was quite a small show. I have decided I'm not going to do it again. I want to say huge thank you to everybody that came and supported me. It's always so nice to meet people at these shows, but it's really hard because it's a big kind of weigh on all the analytics, and is it worthwhile the time as to the profit, and unfortunately it is a business, so you do have to think about that as well. But aside from the profit, like, it's always so wonderful to meet people, and I love it when you bring up your bags that you've made as well, and different members meet up and things like that. So it was really lovely. I'm sad not to be doing it again, but I think next year, instead of having a stand there, I will instead just do a meetup and we can all meet up instead. Now, for Stitch Festival and Threads Festival, after I did Threads Festival, I wasn't sure if I was going to do any shows again. It's not to say the support wasn't there. Absolutely it was. It was absolutely amazing. But it's all the hidden costs that you guys don't probably know about, don't see. The car hire, paying for assistants to help me. I cannot do it on my own. Just everything, upping my insurance, just all of the hidden little things, and not to mention the stand fee, which for Stitch Festival is a crazy amount. And it's just a really hard decision to make. I was going to cancel Stitch Festival in March. I'm now not going to, because I'm out of the cancellation period, I'll be honest. But I hope to see you guys there, because the number one thing for me doing it actually is to meet you all. So if nothing else, that will be wonderful. So I will be at Stitch Festival 2026. I hope to see you there. Okay, so now we're in July. We're actually at the end of July as I record this. What have I done in July? I have made the F-bomb pincushion for Deb. I actually gave that to Deb. Maybe that was in June. That was a lot of fun. That I found through doing my bag pattern roundup that I do at the end of every month. I haven't even mentioned that, but you can find that in the lives on this channel. I will be doing one again at the end of this week. This video will probably come out after that. It is such a fun sew. Sews up really quick. Yeah. Really recommend it. July was another box month, so back I was again, packing and shipping, and this was the first one that we did from the new office, so that was really fun. I bought a cage to transport them all down the stairs as well, down the lift I should say, and that really helped. I have more plans for how I'm going to evolve the office space, so I'm excited to share that with you soon. It didn't quite work as well as I'd hoped, because it is on the first floor and getting the boxes up and down isn't ideal. So I have plans for how I'm going to change that, which I'm excited about. July in the club, we had Deb come in again, and she did the edge coating skills builder masterclass, which was absolutely fantastic. And she shared her very special recipe for making your own edge coat, which I'm excited to give it a try. And then we also had Emma come back and do a second photography workshop where she kind of led on from the first one, which was all about flat lays, and this one was more about 3/4 shots and taking photos of your bags on your body, and we did a bit of a critique session as well. Really brilliant. July, I've also had some headshots done, which was really fun. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but highly recommend it if you have a business and you need to have headshots. Often if I do podcasts, people will ask for a photo, that kind of thing. So it was really fun to update those. July was also my niece's prom, and I was asked to take up the hem of her dress. So as part of that, I also realised there was going to be a lot taken off. It was about 4 inches cut off. So I decided to then make that into a bag, of course. So that was lots of fun, and definitely challenging, because with the 4-inch strips, I had to make them not look like they were 4-inch strips, and it was like a double layer, like chiffon and satin as well. So that was fun putting it all together, and made a little reel of it, which I'll pop up on the screen. July, I also launched the thread box, which has really been well received by you guys. So the thread box is my Text 35 thread, which is bespoke to me, and I choose the variegated colours for that. This box is a very special one-off box, which is 4 different variegated combinations, and then there's one solid as well, solid neutral. So it basically altogether, it will cover all your different projects. This Text 35 is a bonded polyester, and yeah, so that has been ordered. It is now out of pre-order, so if you didn't get one and you want one, you might want to check it out before they sell out. That is going to ship hopefully around mid to late August, depending on when they arrive. Now, something that I alluded to but I haven't talked about yet is the swap. So it is almost the end of July. I'm just straight after this video, I'm going to organise that and get that ready for club members. If you want to be in on that, that will open for around about 2 weeks for everybody to apply, and then after that, you're then allocated who your swapee is going to be, your giftee, and then we do the Zoom call as well, like we did before. We're going to be doing that around September. to do all the unboxings. So whether you're a club member or not, you can join by joining us over in the 77 Club if you like what you hear. Again, links to all of that in the description below. I knew this was going to happen. Future Emma here. As I was editing, I realised I left out some huge things that happened this year. So first of all, we had our sew along inside the 77 Club. And this time I did something completely different and I opened it up to new members. So every quarter we get a new pattern. I release a new pattern inside the club. This time, after some of my members asked me to do this, I decided to do it as a kind of mystery sew along, not kind of, it was a mystery sew along where they didn't know what they were making, and then it dropped over 4 parts. It was so every few days, I think it was every 3 or 4 days, I dropped a new part into the membership. But I did it differently in that people could come in just to do the mystery sew along. They didn't have to do the recurring payment, and they just joined the sew along. They got to be entered into the giveaway if they made it in time, and they also got to be inside the 77 Club Facebook group. And that was so much fun. Loads of people joined in, and it was so lovely to see lots of you make the Trip It bag. So I will pop on the screen some of your versions of this amazing bag. I'm so happy that you loved it, and cannot wait to do it again next year. Along with the sew along, I also had some pattern releases, and these were a bit more recent. So throughout the year I have had pattern releases go into the club every quarter. Like I say, I will pop those up on the screen. So we had one in January, and then we had another one in April, and then we had the mystery sew along in July, which I have just shown you. And then after they have been in the club, they are then released to retail. Now, because everything has been a little bit crazy and busy, I haven't been able to release them on time as much as I had wanted to. So I released 3 in one go just last week. So I will show you what they are real quick. We had the Study Buddy, which is this one right here, which is a backpack, as you can probably see. Lots of features. I will pop a link in the description to the video if you want to have a look. Along with the Study Buddy, it also came with an optional add-on unicorn Study Buddy version 2, which is really cute, perfect for back to school. And then we also had, along with those two, we had the Drawn to It, which is a really quick and fast lined, beginner friendly pencil case. So I can't believe I missed out on all of those different things. Anyway, back to previous me. Okay, so what do we have coming up? In August, directly, we have got a fantastic guest speaker who's going to be going through understanding sewing patterns, all the different things to think about to get you into that realm, specifically in dressmaking. Then we also have from me the hidden strap connectors class, which is going to go through a few different techniques for hiding your strap connectors so that you don't have any sewing showing. We are also launching the 24 days of bag making. I've had at least 10 emails already. You guys are super on it this year. So that is going to launch in August, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Always really popular, and I've sold out every year, so hopefully I won't be selling out again. Like I say, more info on that soon. September, we are going to be bringing back the free challenge. So far in the last couple of years, we've had a spring free challenge, and then we've had an autumn free challenge. And this is, again, free, open to everyone. It's a new project, and it is a beginner friendly bag. So this is for those who have never sewn a bag before. You've done some sewing already, but maybe you want to get into bag making. Maybe you've never tried sewing with a zip. I've got you. I'm going to take you through it step by step throughout the days, I should say, not weeks, throughout the days over a 5-day period so that you can make your very first bag. Or if you have made many bags, then this is going to be a quick sew for you, and lots of fun. Prizes, a huge amount of people doing it. You don't want to miss this. I don't have anything planned at the minute for October. Obviously, I've got all the club stuff going on. We're going to have a new pattern coming out around then as well for club members. But in November, we do have the Advent box going out, and of course, another box, Bag Makers box. We have another Bag Makers box in September as well, before then, and then November as well. And then that takes us to the end of the year. Like, how has this year, I feel like this year has already flown by in the first 6 months. I'm very excited for where the next 6 months is going to take me. Maybe you have some ideas. Maybe you have some ideas for guest speakers or masterclasses. Please do pop them below, or you can email me at any point. And if you hear of any new bag patterns that are coming out and you want them shared, on the bag pattern roundup, which is live at the end of every month. Do let me know. Again, you can email me those. I'll pop a link to that in the description. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I know it's a little bit different, a little bit out of the norm, but I thought it'd be fun to share behind the scenes of what's happened and what's coming up. Yeah, let me know what you think. Coming up on the screen right now is another video that I think you're gonna love. This video is going through the Cabay bag, which is my #1 organizational bag. I'll see you on the video.